Hello, and welcome to my very first vlog ever. I'm so annoyed. I have never seen a manifesting coach talk about their breakups. How to reply to that text message. It is time to clean my sad apartment. I just got a vlogging camera and I will insert the unboxing of that in this vlog. But I am super excited and a little bit nervous, honestly, but mostly excited. And I want to vlog because I want to show you how someone who is very good at manifesting uses the law of assumption in her day-to-day life, show you that I do get sad, that I do feel feelings, and that life is not perfect for someone who is manifesting. You can perceive life as being perfect and perfectly aligning for you, but that doesn't mean that everything that happens to you has to be happy. And that is something that was very difficult for me when I very first began my law of assumption journey, because I felt like all of the YouTubers and the TikTok coaches that I saw were just teaching and admonishing and telling you why you were doing it wrong, and they never showed their own life, or how they dealt with things that happened in their life that maybe didn't go their way. And it set up this feeling in me that in order to be good at manifesting, everything has to happen perfectly. You don't feel sadness, you don't feel regret, you don't feel disappointment, you don't have bad things happen to you. There were all of these expectations that I had set up in my head about manifesting because of the content that I was watching. And now that I've been practicing law of assumption for about 3 years, I started in 2021, I just see things so much differently now. And so the whole purpose of me even showing you my life is that I'm hoping that you will take this as an opportunity to give yourself a break and to reframe whatever situations come into your 3D reality, because truly life is what you think it is, and it doesn't have to be perfect in order to actually still be perfect. Thank you for stopping by to watch the vlog. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm really happy to be here sharing my life with you. I'm so annoyed, and this is why I wanted to make this vlog, is because things happen in your life and they're gonna annoy the shit out of you, and that's okay. It's okay to be annoyed. So here's the situation, and here's how I'm dealing with it. I was given a task to do at work that was really big, like really big, and I was given 113 of these to do in a day. Big task. And I need medical records to do it. And none of the medical records that applied to this task were given to me. None of them. And I have things to do. I have rehearsal tonight. I have rehearsal tomorrow night after work. I have a concert on Sunday. I have things to do and I need to get this done. And so I was going to spend the afternoon doing it, but I don't have any of the medical records that I need to get it done. I'm super duper annoyed. So here's how a master manifestor handles this. Number one, I acknowledge and accept the fact that I'm feeling super fucking annoyed right now. I'm annoyed. That's okay. Number two, somehow, some way, I don't know fucking how, this is actually working out in my favor. No clue how. I don't know. I'm going to go home. I'm going to relax. I'm going to do some other things. And then I'm going to check in and see if they gave me the medical records I need. And if they did, I'm going to do some work. I don't know how this is going to work out for me, but it is. So let this be a lesson to you. that no matter how annoyed you are, it's okay to be annoyed, and just the thoughts that you decide to think matter. This annoyance of mine is going to wash away by the time I get home, and it's all going to work out better for me this way than it would have if I had just had access to the records initially. I don't know how. It's not my business. It's going to work out for you too. Okay, let's talk about some real shit. I have never seen a manifesting coach talk about their breakups. They don't talk about it. They always talk about how they were able to get their SP and how everything is wonderful and dandy and amazing in their love life. And possibly that is true. But I think far more manifesting coaches go through breakups than actually talk about it. So I'm going to talk about what I'm going through right now. I'm currently going through a breakup, and I want to talk to you about how that can realistically affect you and how you can frame things in your mind that make the breakup not as bad in terms of emotional repercussions and like the way that you feel. So I've been dating a guy since early summer. He's a great guy, very, very good man, very good to me, which is great because I look back and I think about, the way that he treated me, and he did treat me very, very well. So you're probably wondering well, why did you break up? Well, I broke up with him because the amount of time that I wanted to spend with someone in my relationship was more than the amount of time that he was able or willing to give me. And instead of putting all of my energy into changing the circumstances, which you could do that, plenty of people choose to do that, I decided that I reflect back in on the self-concept of the woman that I would rather be. And the woman that I would rather be doesn't have to endure anything in a relationship that is not serving me. So after a couple of months of having some discussions with him, which were all very nice and respectful and caring and all of that, I decided that I wanted to break up because he wasn't giving me what I know I deserve in a relationship, and therefore I need to put my mental, emotional, and time energy into myself and into a relationship that does serve me. Now, you might have heard that relationships are only a mirror and your specific person is just reflecting you back to you. Yes, I agree. And that is why I didn't stay. So previous relationships of mine, I would have stayed, I would have worked on the circumstances in my mind, I would have fought it, all of that. But the self-concept that I have been nurturing for myself is that sort of a let people be who they are and let them give you what they want to give you, and then adjust whether or not that's worthy of being in your life. So for me and the self-concept that I have right now, he was treating me very well, but he wasn't ticking off everything on the list. And so he had to go. And it wasn't like we didn't have discussions about this. It wasn't like I just observed things out of my 3D and was just like, okay, bye. But it's okay to break up, and you do not have to micromanage every aspect of every specific person that you're ever with. So I broke up with a man that I cared about quite a lot and who's very good to me. So do you think I'm going to be sad about it? Yeah, there's a lot of chemicals floating around in my system that have me attracted to this person. I care about him a lot. He's a very good man. Yes, I have sadness about it. It's been about 4 or 5 weeks since I ended the relationship. We've been in sort of a no contact situation because in my opinion and my beliefs, that's the easiest way and the quickest way to move on from a relationship, or to level yourself up, or to, get yourself into a place where those chemicals aren't rushing around so much and they aren't affecting you as profoundly, shall we say. And so now I'm feeling pretty good. I don't want to say I'm over it, because I wouldn't say that necessarily, but I'm comfortable in my life again. I'm comfortable in the decision that I made. I know I made the right choice. Now, another belief that I am constantly nurturing is that I'm not the one that you get over. That's just a belief I want to have about myself. I'm always going to be the one that you regret fumbling. If he wants to come back in and give me more time, then I'm willing to entertain that discussion. But as of right now, the focus that I'm having is that I'm amazing. I am absolutely worthy of everything on the list that I want. So not just him treating me really well, but him treating me really well and giving me the time and investment that I want in a relationship. I'm focusing on the self-concept that every time I break up with someone or every time a relationship ends, I'm way better after. Like, I just keep leveling on up and I keep getting better men. As I increase my selectivity, I increase the quality of the men that come into my life. And that has been true for me so far. Hang on, I'm like down here. Let me get comfy. Okay, that's way better. So those are the things that I'm focusing on. I do not necessarily think that you have to put all your energy and effort into fixing every relationship. The mirror aspect of it is like, I'm looking at the relationship that I had with this man, and I'm seeing that he treated me well. I'm seeing that he was very kind to me. He was very thoughtful. He was very giving. He was very masculine. He planned all the dates. He paid for all the dates. He was giving me everything that I know that I'm deserving of and worthy of and that I want in a relationship, except for the amount of time. So the work then that is to be done is to say, okay, well, he wasn't giving me the time that I wanted. Is that a reflection of me? Meaning, is it a worthiness thing? Like, do I feel like I'm not worthy of the amount of time that I want from a man? Or is it more of a consequence of my other thoughts and beliefs? Like, I'm really busy right now. I don't know how I'm going to fit in a relationship into everything else that I have going on. And therefore, the relationship that I was in was reflecting that. I'm not sure. What I know is that what I was seeing was not jiving with what I know I deserve and what I ultimately want. And so I had to let it go. And that's where I'm at. Now, I want to talk to you because I have sadness, right? Like, I care about this person, so I'm sad. So let me show you my sadness. Lord, be kind. Don't judge me. This is my sadness apartment. This is what happens in your apartment, or in my apartment anyway, when I get sad, is things just pile up. Hey, doggy. Things just pile up. The things that have a home don't necessarily find their home. Good about cleaning up after myself. And that's just my pattern, right? So it is scary to even show you that. But one of the things that I aim to do in this vlog is clean up my sadness apartment, get back on track with some of the things that I have been slacking on because of my sadness. And I'm gonna take you along with me on that. I'm not gonna do it today though, because I have a rehearsal in a little bit, but that is one of the things that I'm planning on doing this weekend, is getting the sadness out of my apartment. Just kidding, I changed my mind. I have a little bit of time, and I think I'm gonna try and at least get some of this cleaned up. I'm gonna definitely get my desk done. I think I'll have enough time to do that. And then maybe if I can work on some of this, a little time lapse and show you guys. All right, there she is. That feels way better. I feel like I can exist in this space. Did I also perhaps just add more to my table of nonsense? Possibly. However, there are piles on the table that are categorized, and that is my excuse for that. But my desk looks so good now, and it feels so good to be able to use it. I just got home from work and I had a few minutes and I thought maybe we could sit down together with a drink and a snack. I have some popcorn and I'm obsessed with my Terrifier popcorn bucket and cup. Obsessed. It can be really hard. Like, it can be really hard to keep faith in manifesting when you're sad and things don't look like they're going the right direction. But I promise you, the more you can recognize and identify sadness, the ugly thoughts, the fear that none of this is real or that none of this is going to work out the way that you want it to, and just recognize it for what it is, and it is just your brain's natural way of trying to protect you. The more you realize the voice in your head isn't necessarily you, it is an aspect of you, but it doesn't represent who you necessarily are, the more that you can notice that you're having feelings instead of feeling the feelings, the more that you can sort of separate yourself from the negative feelings that you're having, the easier all of this will be to get control over your mind and what your mind is doing during the periods where things may not be the best circumstantially in your life. That doesn't mean they're not working in your favor, but when you look at them at face value, it can be scary and disheartening, especially if you're younger into manifesting or like newer to manifesting. And I honestly feel like that every time I go through a breakup, I get better at just about every area of my life. And I know that's not unique. It's pretty common for you to hear about women like glowing up after a breakup, but it's not, I don't do it out of any sort of vengeance or any sort of ill feelings towards the person I broke up with. It's more of a situation where, what can I learn from this? What are the circumstances trying to say to me about my belief system? Is there something to learn from here? You can make your circumstances mean whatever you want them to mean. That's all the law of assumption is anyway, is just taking everything that you perceive and feel and think and turning it into a meaning that benefits you. It makes it so much easier to go through the difficult circumstances because you won't perceive them as being permanent. You won't perceive them as meaning something negative is going to be your outcome. Doesn't mean you won't feel sad. Doesn't mean you might not feel angry, but you'll be able to take those feelings and those thoughts and view them objectively and get a higher meaning out of them compared to just experiencing them and wallowing in your sadness and being enveloped in the sadness. And last night I came home from rehearsal and I was just mad. I haven't been mad at this man in a while, but I was just mad. Feeling angry last night that he couldn't give me what I wanted. And those feelings came up and I just sort of talked myself through them. Because it's not like any of us sit down and think, okay, I want to be mad now. Our brains just serve this up to us. And then we can decide what we do with it. Last night, my brain served up anger, so I talked myself through it. I didn't have my camera with me, or I would have talked myself through it with you. But basically, you just talk yourself through it. Say, okay, I hear you, anger. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Why are you mad? You listen to it. So I was mad because he's a good man, and I was attracted to him, and we had a really good thing. Except that he's just not in a position to give me the time and attention that I deserve and look for in a relationship. So I was feeling mad that I had to be back out there when I have a perfectly good man in so many ways, except for this one thing. And so then I was thinking like, okay, well, what does that mean? What does it mean that he's perfect in so many ways, except for this one thing? Is that really true? I started thinking about it, and no, it's not really true. There's other things about him that weren't perfect for me. The loss that I am perceiving, it just doesn't have to be real, because he's actually missing some key components of what I want from a man. So it was a good relationship to show me that I can attract a man that treats me really well. There will definitely be a man that shows up treating me the way that I want to, that I've established that I can attract, and also has the time and attention and long-term desire for me that I really want in a partner. So once you talk yourself through these feelings and these questions and anger and what does it all mean, you just ask yourself like, well, what do you actually want? What do you actually want? For me, well, I actually want a man who is absolutely lovingly obsessed with me, can't picture his life without me, who very easily knows that I'm the woman that he's going to spend his life with, and who is available physically and emotionally to participate in that with me. That's what I really want. And so I'm not going to get distracted by anything less than what I want. So the relationship that I was in with this man, who was very like treating me so well, didn't actually have all the components of what I wanted. So if I had stayed and tried to manifest it and fit it in and shoehorn it and all of that, like, I don't understand this obsession with changing everyone to fit your ideal, when you can just decide what your ideal is, what your worthiness is, and participate in something that you think might offer it to you, and when it doesn't offer it to you, well, you let go of it and move on to something that you deserve. I don't understand the manifesting community's obsession with changing a person. So one decision that I'm in the process of making that you could actually help with is whether or not I want to maintain a meaningful, close friendship with this person. We started out as meaningful, close friends. I was not initially attracted to him. We are in a couple of organizations together, and I value his friendship and I value his participation in those organizations. But now that I've been in basically no contact for a little over a month, I'm not sure if I want to reestablish a friendship. I don't know. What would you do? I'm also not suggesting I do this now, because when I see him at organizational meetings, I still feel feelings, right? So I don't know that I'm necessarily ready to like reach out and be, hey, let's be buds right now. But is that something that I ultimately want? And if it is, well, then the next step is to choose thoughts that are favorable to that being a beneficial outcome for me. I tell you what though, he is not off the hook. Because I have cultivated a belief about myself that I am an amazing partner, he is not off the hook. He is gonna regret it for the rest of his life that he didn't make it work with me. That's just a belief that I have about myself. I'm an unforgettable and irreplaceable partner. I didn't always have that belief about myself. You can change your beliefs about yourself at any point, but you better believe that I'm not gonna sit here and think that he's gonna be happy that he and I didn't work out. Bitch, please. Okay, we're going to rehearsal. I'm bringing my camera in case I feel brave enough to vlog a little bit, but I'm scared. So tonight I have orchestra rehearsal. We have a concert this weekend, and today is our dress rehearsal for the concert, which is, if you don't know, that is the final rehearsal before your performance.
Deeply impressed with your efforts. These people should long since have been defeated, I think.
What else? I'm blanking. I can't remember. I have a lot of things I need to get done today. I need to do some work today too. So I'm gonna force myself out of bed and we're gonna get this day started. You can do this. One of these packages has something I am very excited about. It's a camera accessory that I'm hoping will make it compatible with the tripod that I already have that I used with my DSLR camera when I was doing a lot of photography. So wish me luck that it's in this. I think it might be this one. Let's see. Yes. It's so cute, and it's white, and it's labeled for my camera. Okay, I'm gonna put it on. Oh, I'm so excited. Also, it makes it like bigger. My hands are big. My hands are big. I'm excited. So it has, oh, I can't just like twist it like that. So it has this quick release bracket that I think is compatible. I think it's compatible with the one that I had for my DSLR camera. I'm gonna try it. It's perfect. Okay, so when I had my DSLR, I spent so much money on this like carbon fiber, really nice tripod, and this really nice ball head with a quick release feature, but it requires like a special kind of bracket. So you don't screw it in. It has a bracket that quick releases. Look how easy. Oh, off tripod. On tripod. Yes. Okay, tell me why I'm today's years old and participated in this club in school and I didn't know that 4-H, the 4-H club, stands for Head, Heart, Hands, and Health. I was a member of the 4-H club. How? Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my workout, and I always like to have at least one exercise that's like a challenge, like push past what I think is possible for myself. So I've got two. Only one of them is on this workout day though. It's a push-up challenge where I do 3 sets to failure and see how far I can get in the first set, further than I have in like the last times I did the challenge for myself. So last time I did 10 reps in the first set, so this time I'm going to bring you along and see if I can do more than 10. We'll see. I'm not feeling super energetic today, but we'll see what's happened in the last week or so. I just did it. I did my 3 sets to failure. I'm satisfied. Last week, over the course of 3 sets, I did 23 total push-ups, 10 being in the first set. This week, over the course of 3 sets, I did 27 total push-ups with 12 push-ups in the first set. So, progress. We're winning. I'm back from the gym and I realized I forgot to do my Lumen before I went to the gym. So Lumen is like a metabolic testing device that's designed to be used just by any regular person. This is what it looks like. It has a cap take the cap off. And then it has an app that goes with it. And the first thing you do is you check in the morning, but I forgot. It's okay. We're gonna check in on it now. So you hit get started, and then down here, I want to double tag this measurement. So it's gonna be my first thing in the morning measurement, and then I'm gonna do my, oh, it doesn't let me do an after food. I guess it'll be pre-meal after fasting instead of after workout. But anyways, so then you press the button, turn it on, and it connects. And then it says, I'm ready. So I press, I'm ready.
Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold your breath. Exhale in 3.
So I got a, which means I'm burning fat right now. They have levels 1 through 5, and the amount of carbon dioxide that you exhale tells this device through fancy calculations whether you're burning carbohydrates or whether you're burning fat. And then it'll ask you what time did you stop eating yesterday. I think when did I last eat? It's after I got home from rehearsal, so around 10 o'clock. And then it tells you how many times you've woken up in fat burn versus woken up in carb burn, and I've woken up every day so far in fat burn. 1 and 2 is fat burn. And then what I really like about it is I don't have to think about how many calories to eat or what macros to eat, because I'm in a part of my journey right now where I care about that. I haven't always, and I probably won't always, but right now it interests me. So it'll tell you, I have an Apple Watch and it automatically connects my workouts. So it saw that I did a 30-minute walk and then weight training, strength training. And based on that, I don't know if you can see, but it will add macros to your daily plan based on what your goals are, which my goals are fat loss. And so because of the workouts I did this morning, it's added 60 grams of carbs to my allotted carbs for the day and 30 grams of protein. So it tells you exactly what your macros are up here. And then you can see on like the nutrition plan page more details. And so I'm about to add in my post-workout refueling drink. So you click add meal. This is gonna be breakfast, even though it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then log food. Now I already have these entered in because I have a pretty routine eating stuff. So I had multi-collagen protein, so I tapped on that and then add that. And then I had whey protein isolate, so I'm adding that. Go. So that's added. I think I'm gonna go ahead and have a puff bar too. Do I want coconut? Do I want coconut, strawberry, or cookies and cream? I think I want, let's do coconut bar, which again, I've already entered in here, so it's easy to find. Add to breakfast. Okay, so breakfast all in all is these things here. Log breakfast. So I've had 12, this meal, 12 carbs, 50 protein grams, and 2 grams of fat. And then it automatically calculates the calories for you right here. So it's approximately 300 calories for this meal. I'm not like ride or die for this, but because my goals are to build muscle, and there's a lot of evidence out there that I believe in that paying attention to protein and carb and fat macros helps with that, that's what I'm going with. You don't have to follow any plan if you want to have body goals. Like a good portion of my weight loss, over 100 pounds, was not following any sort of regimented counting of anything. So it's kind of a situation where if you believe it'll work, it'll work. So anyways, that is my post-workout routine. Have you ever seen Lumen? I don't have like an affiliate link or anything, but I will link this in the description in case it's something you want to check out. I have really enjoyed it because I don't have to count shit. It tells me exactly what I need to eat for my goals based on how much exercise I've done. And I like the least amount of effort for the most amount of return. So I really like it. Hopefully one day they'll give me an affiliate link so I can give a coupon or something for folks. But right now, I'm just a user and a lover of the Lumen. One of my issues with the manifesting community that I see online and the coaches that I see is that they never actually show you their process of manifesting things. So we're gonna do a little manifesting challenge. I don't know how it's gonna go. I may succeed, I may fail. Even if I don't get what I want, it's still great practice and I can always take some information from the results of it. So we're gonna do a little manifesting challenge with something that I want on this vlog. Okay, here's the context for the manifesting challenge. I have a concert on Sunday. It's a winter concert and our orchestra director has decided that the uniform is going to be all white, which on one hand I love, and on the other hand I started my cycle, so now I have to wear all white. on my cycle, send your condolences to my confidence on that day, because you just never know with white. So we're wearing all white and I am extra as fuck. So I went on Amazon and I ordered this really pretty sparkly custom, it's like an evening gown for the concert, because when else am I gonna dress up? Like, take every opportunity, right? So I ordered it with plenty of time to receive it for the concert. However, I asked for some custom alterations, and this led to a conversation back and forth between me and the dressmaker that ended up taking longer than I expected. And so the dress was delayed and it's been shipped for a few days. The concert is Sunday and Amazon says it's gonna arrive by Monday. It's been shipped. It doesn't have a specific date. It's like a date range. It says it will arrive by Monday. I have another white outfit that I can wear, but I would really much rather wear like the sparkly gown that I wanted to get. I'm gonna show it to you, hang tight. Look at it, isn't it pretty? The top part is all sequins and then it has this like wraparound and like a pretty satin bottom. Let me see, I don't know what the minimum focus distance is on this. It's so pretty. It's gonna be so nice. So here's my challenge. There is a possibility that it won't get here in time. I don't like that. Like, I want it to get here in time. I want to be wearing it at the concert. So here's the challenge, right? The way that Neville recommends approaching this, he's talked about this with like concert tickets. He's talked about this with items that were previously impossible to find. He's talked about this with like manifesting on a deadline. So the way that I'm doing this, every time I think about the topic, I am imagining myself sitting in my seat in the orchestra, looking out into the audience, like the full audience, with all the orchestra, like with all the stage lights and everything. I'm imagining everyone around me in their white for the concert, and I look down and I see sequins and a white dress in front of me. Like, I look down at myself and I see myself in the dress. And I'm just gonna keep repeating this visual. It's just like a snapshot, like a split-second visual of me in the dress. I don't have any physical evidence right now at the time of filming that the dress is gonna arrive on time, but I really want it to. I don't really wanna wear the other white outfit that I have. It's fine, but it's not what I want. And I like getting what I want. So that is my manifesting challenge in this video. I will tell you if it doesn't show up. What I can tell you is that if it doesn't show up in time for this concert, the approach that I will take mentally for that is still gonna be one of success, because I just simply don't fail at things. So it will come to my home and it will be beautiful and I will have an amazing opportunity to wear it, whether or not it's for this Sunday. But the manifesting challenge is I want to wear it for the concert because I'm extra and there's lights and it's going to be sparkly and it's going to be gorgeous. So that is the challenge. I will report back. I will show you whether or not I was successful. But that is how you manifest the thing, is you pick a scene. You either repeat words in your head that represent that scene, or you just imagine it visually if you're one of those that can visually think inside your head. That's all you do. That's it. Just imagine yourself successfully having whatever thing you want. So we'll see. I intend that I am successful and I get to show you video of me at the concert in my beautiful gown. The time has come. It is time to clean my sad apartment, and I'm not in the mood, but I did promise I would do it on this vlog. Promised you and promised me, so we're gonna follow through. Okay, so the rules are as follows. Everything finds a home. The island is completely cleared of any extraneous stuff, and all of the surfaces and the floors get cleaned. So that is the goal of cleaning my sadness house. So here's what we're starting with. Yikes. Okay. Got shit basically everywhere. On the floor. I need to clean that out. On the countertops. I did luckily clean that. Now this over here is not sadness. This is purge. So we'll get into that another time. But some things from the sadness pile will be going to the purge pile. So let's begin. I think I'm gonna time lapse this like big comfy couch style, like 10-second tidy. But while I do it, I'm gonna watch Steph Bohr's Vlogmas today. She is one of my favorite YouTubers. I followed her for book content, and then she recently, within the last year, just started vlogging regularly, and I never really watched vlogs before her, and she is the reason that I am starting a vlog now. So I doubt she'll ever see this, but if you don't watch Steph Bohr, I think she's really sweet and entertaining, and I really love her vlogs. They have a nice cozy feel. So, time to get started.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 13.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light.
Okay, question. I stained my countertop on my island, and if you have a suggestion on how to get this stain out, help a girl. So, oh, it's kind of hard to see. Let me see. So the stain is this, okay, this mark, and this mark. You can kind of see it if I go away from it a little bit. They look a little bit like those marks, however, they are not the same. So what I did was I accidentally got, like, you know how you trim the wick of your candle after you use it the last time so that you can use it this next time? When I trimmed the wick of my candle, some of the candle carbon soot got on my countertop, and I don't know how to get it out. Like, standard cleaners won't get it out. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. But on the plus side, one countertop is empty. So now I'm gonna put that back together and keep working. So I stopped vlogging this because it was taking way longer than a 10-second tidy. It was more like a 5-hour tidy, and my camera battery ran out of juice and continued on just without vlogging. So here are my results. We have a clean table. We have clean countertops. We have clean floors. And then this little pile right here needs to go down to my storage unit along with the dog food and the paper towels. But generally everything has a place, and that makes me extremely happy. It's not a sadness apartment anymore, you guys. Like, isn't she cute? Look at her, I love her. So now it is time to shower and clean myself because I have not showered since going to the gym and doing all this cleaning. Good morning, it is Sunday morning, it is concert day. I'm just gonna talk to you a little bit while I get ready for the concert. I have to put new lashes on because I lost a couple today, which is fine because I put them on about a week ago, and that's expected. So I use Lashify lashes. Let me see which ones I'm gonna do today. I'll show you the ones I have. I have some colored ones. These ones have color like purple, blue, green, different ones. I think I've got, come here, there we go. I think today I wanna use, is it these ones? Yeah, I think I wanna use these ones. Which ones are these? These are the V10, V, and then it has the side, like the length on the back. I think I'm gonna use these today. I can't remember what the V stands for, but it's a newish release that they have, and they're really soft. All right, this is my lash mirror, by the way, if you're wondering, like, what is that? Okay, so first I owe you an update on the dress. As of this morning, it just arrived in New York via China. I got this dress on Amazon. It does not say out for delivery. However, you never know. There are Neville Goddard stories where people were literally in line for tickets and not expecting to get what they want. Or I think there was one story even where the person gave up on the tickets they wanted because there weren't any, and they bought the tickets that they didn't want because they still wanted to see the show. They just didn't want to sit where they were sitting, and they met somebody in the bathroom who gave them the tickets that they wanted. I'm still envisioning myself sitting in my beautiful dress at the concert, even though right now it doesn't look good for me, and we'll see what happens. And again, manifesting is just a muscle that you have to practice. It's disciplining your mind to think favorably for you, no matter how things look, and ultimately, no matter how things turn out, this way of thinking, like this practice of thinking favorably for yourself is going to help you win more and more in life. Oh, and I do have a 20% off code for Lashify in the description if you've been wanting to try them out. I really, really like them. I haven't used mascara once since I started using Lashify. I started using Lashify back in like April or May of 2024, and we're now in December. So it's been a long time, and I absolutely love them. Also, I'm so pleased with the clean. Like, getting rid of sad apartment really helps the sads, the breakup sads. I'm feeling much better. Also, I have started talking to a couple of other men, which always is a good thing because it helps remind you that like the person that you cared for, that you're no longer dating or no longer with, it helps remind you they're not the only person on this planet. And in fact, there are billions of people on this planet, and you are amazing, and therefore plenty of them will fall deeply in love with you. So if you're not with the person in this moment that you thought you would be with or that you wanted to be with, that's okay, because there are plenty of great people in the world that you have yet to meet. So I'm talking to a couple of other men. I might have a date lined up for next Saturday, which would be cool. We will see. Again, like my manifesting style using the law of assumption, like I don't try to control the actions of others. So I'm not going to be like, yes, this one person that I'm talking to is definitely going to follow through. He's definitely going to be great. He's definitely going to be my next long-term partner. Like, I don't manifest that way. I don't like thinking in those terms. What I like to do is to think favorably about myself. And if the man is up to par for me and sufficiently impresses me and makes me feel good the way that I want to in a relationship, then great. If not, thank you, next. That's my approach. I don't have an interest in putting a lot of effort and energy into changing people. I'd rather just let them be who they are. And if that works well for me, then great. And if it doesn't, then I know that there's still billions of other people on the planet. So that's how I like to approach specific people, and that's how I'm approaching this potential date with this man coming up soon. But we did have a phone call yesterday, and he seems really interesting. He's growth oriented. He has a lot of the things that I wrote down in my love list, which is good because that means that the thoughts, like the repeated thoughts and beliefs that I'm doing and having about myself are pushing themselves out. They are reflecting in my 3D because the types of men that I'm seeing on the dating apps right now are very different from the types of men that I was seeing on the dating apps even like a couple years ago, because I go through periods where I'm on the apps and then I'm off the apps. And so on paper, he has a lot of the qualities that I want, which is great because that means that my outward experience, my 3D reality is starting to reflect what I want and what I know I'm deserving of. Boop. I love lashes. It's so easy. One lash. And then I put a little adhesive on the new lash so that I can like overlap them a little bit so that they last longer. I have found that really helps. And then I also put them on alternating. Otherwise it takes me forever because I'm not a lash expert. I'm just a person who wants to be able to use lashes on a regular basis. Also, I'm not working in ideal conditions because the mirror has lights around it, but I have let the charge die. So I'm working in somewhat darkness, which is not ideal, but it's still doable. So I've been thinking more about how I want to approach friendship with the man that I broke up with recently, whether or not that's something I want to pursue. And I think it is. With each day that passes, I feel more and more confident that his friendship is something that I want. And he has been extremely kind and respectful and basically said, like, I'll let you have the space that you asked for and I will wait for you to reach out. So I'm thinking about reaching out to him today. And yeah, okay, that one did not go as planned. Let's try this again. Not a lash, just a person. Boom. Haha. Success. And one thing I want to invite is I'd like to start, and I got this idea from Steph Bohr, because again, she's like the only vlogger that I watch, but I love her vlogs because they're so cozy. She's been doing this like question of the day during Vlogmas, and I think that'd be really nice. So if you have a question about me or about manifesting, I'd like to answer that question in the next vlog. So please leave a comment what questions you might have. It feels so cozy to like just be chilling with her at the end of the day and having her answer questions from the comments. I'd like to do it, so be sure to ask a question or just leave a comment. Like, if anything in this vlog has helped you, that is my goal. Like, I'm not just here to just show my life, which in a little bit I am, because I think vlogs are fun and they're motivating for me to help me. Like, obviously this helped me get my sad apartment taken care of, but you know, like in general, overall, I really want to show you what manifesting is like realistically. And, you know, I'm on that journey too. I've been doing this for 3 years and I've gotten really good at it. And I aspire to be like Helen Hadsel, where literally every time I say I'm gonna get something, I get it. And the only way to do that is to take practice. But I want to show you like realistically how things go. So if anything has helped you, I really want to know that. Or if there's anything you want me to cover in more detail, I want to know also, so that I can be of better service. Boop. I really like these V style ones. I wish I could remember. I mean, I could just look it up, but I really don't want to waste time because I'm afraid I'm gonna be late as it is. I have to be there at 1 for rehearsal. It's already 12 and I gotta dry my hair and do, it feels like a lot. I did this to myself though. There we go. Boop. Okay, I've only got one more to do on each side. We're gonna be okay. They're so pretty. I love Lashify. All right, last one on this eye. And I don't go all the way into the corner on mine because I have pretty sparse lashes in there. And I have just found that like, if I put one there, it's just gonna fall off. And that's what they recommend too. Like the inner and the extreme outer are the ones where people usually have like the least amount of lashes naturally. So they tend to fall off faster. And I have found that, so I don't go all the way into my inner corner. I do go basically all the way out though, and that's worked fine. Okay, done. Now you have to, they have these little like plasticky doos called wandums. So you put the wandum on, little wand condom, put the wandum on, and then you fuse them together. You just hold it for like 30 seconds. I'm gonna sit here and think about me being in my pretty dress. All right, that side's good. And Lashify has a tutorial that gets set up like when you first buy them, and I did watch it and I did follow it. I think I've slightly altered things just for my own preferences over time, but I definitely use the techniques that they say and they make it a lot easier. I haven't tried any other lash systems though, so I don't know how they compare. I just really like the packaging. I like the discounts that you get if you're a member. I like the CEO. Ooh, something's in my eye. What's going on here? I like the attitude of the CEO. Okay, and last thing is you have to seal it to make it waterproof. So we'll seal it and then you let it dry. And then you really aren't supposed to do anything like that could wet it for 24 hours, which is why I always do it after I shower. Where's my original kit? Here it is. And then the original kit that I got has a place for things to live. All right, so bondage goes there, sealant goes there. Okay, all right, I'm going to stop vlogging so that I can get the rest of my stuff done fast, and then I'll reconnect soon. Hello, I'm back from the concert, and I wanted to talk through a few things before we close out this vlog. So first thing, no, the dress definitely didn't come. It's supposed to come tomorrow. So how do you deal with disappointment? Was I disappointed about it? I mean, yeah. It was a really pretty dress. I really wanted to wear it for the concert. However, when you are working on manifesting and utilizing the law of assumption, it's really important that no matter what actually physically happens, everything in your mind is going to spin it in your favor. Like, you're automatically going to be thinking of the benefits of it working out the way that it did and how that ultimately benefits you. The disappointment doesn't tend to last too long once you get really good at this, because you're just like, it's whatever. And so for example, the dress that I showed you is really long. Like, it's supposed to drag the floor long, and it ended up being really rainy tonight. They called for wintry mix, but it ended up just being a wet rain. And I would have had to like drag the poor dress around in the rain to and from the concert and to and from the after party, because we go to a restaurant afterwards and have an after party. And it was nice to not have to do that, because the dress that I ended up wearing was like knee length. So I didn't have to deal with anything dragging or getting dirty. So that's one benefit, number one. Number two, I'm still getting the dress. Like, and I hope you're extrapolating this beyond the dress, right? I'm still getting the dress. It's supposed to come tomorrow. Like, I know I'm still getting the dress. Did it, you know, if it didn't come today, is that the end of the world? Well, no, because I know that it's coming tomorrow. Not that stressed. And so this is the sort of approach that you have to take when you don't get something that you're manifesting. Now, if it's a lot more important to you than a dress that you ordered that you would like to wear to a concert, but you have other clothes that you can wear, then the disappointment may be bigger, but the approach needs to stay the same. It's still going to benefit you in some way, and you're still going to get it no matter what, even if it doesn't come by this particular date. So that's a quote unquote manifesting failure. I just don't see it that way. And that is the beauty of the law of assumption, is whatever you are assuming to be true is going to be true. So even when you see something unfavorable in your physical reality or in your 3D, you can make it favorable by deciding what the truth of the matter is. I think it's Neville that talks about there's the facts of the matter and then there's the truth of the matter. Well, the facts of the matter in this case are my dress didn't arrive on time for me to be able to wear it to the concert. But the truth of the matter is that I'm still going to get the dress. I'm definitely getting it, right? And I didn't have to drag a long ass train in the rain and have to worry about like, well, what do I do now that the bottom of the dress is all dirty and gross because of the rain? So either way I win. And that's the approach that you need to take, is that no matter what, I'm always win, point blank, period. So that's that. Number 2, let's talk about this man that I had my breakup with recently and what I want to do with this situation. So earlier in this vlog, I was thinking like I was ready. I felt like I was ready to be friends. And I ended up seeing him today. And my feelings for him are not gone. They are not nearly as prominent as they were. They are not nearly as strong as they were. But seeing him today, I realized like, no, I still have a bond with this man. I still have feelings for him. The feelings are not gone. So what do I do in this situation? Well, the answer is you're always right. So whenever you're manifesting anything, every decision that you make regarding that thing that you're manifesting is always right. So if I decide that I want to be his friend, I'm right. If I decide I'm not ready for that, I'm right. If I decide that all of a sudden I want to change my tactic and make him fall madly in love with me, I'm right. That's the foundation of it. No matter what you decide, and your mind can change, you're always right. And likewise, every interaction that you have with a person that matters to you is favorable to you. So I happened to see him today. We had a good interaction. We were friendly and kind and laughing and joking together. And that's exactly right. Like, that's exactly perfect. If we had had an interaction today where he was aloof and we didn't really talk and things felt awkward, that would also be perfect. No matter how he shows up in my reality or how I perceive the situation in my reality, it's going to be perfect. It's working out perfectly for me. Because if we have a great time talking together, then the way that that works out great for me is because he's gonna spend the rest of his night thinking about what a great conversation we had and how much he misses that in his life. If he had been aloof and things were awkward, well, it's because he doesn't know how to act now that we're not together and it's ripping him apart, and he still cares about me deeply. Everything about every way that this plays out is perfect. And so these are the sorts of ways that you approach whatever it is that you see in your reality. Like, it doesn't matter what it looks like. And that's one of the affirmations I use, is no matter how it looks or feels, it's actually perfect. That is the truth of the matter. No matter what the facts of the matter are, no matter how it looks or feels, it's actually happening perfectly and it's benefiting me, even if I can't readily see how. So hopefully that helps you put some things into context. I'm thinking about, he did reach out, he sent me a text after he saw me today, and I'm thinking, I haven't replied yet, I'm thinking about replying. So if I do reply, I will add that to the end of this. Well, hello again. So I wanted to give you an update on the text conversation with my guy that I was dating that I'm not dating anymore. So I'm gonna try and do this in a way that keeps his identity as undetectable as possible. So there's gonna be sort of important parts that are left out, but hopefully you'll get the gist. That's my doggy. He makes old man noises because he's old. Anyways, so I mentioned that I saw him at the concert, and he sent me a text message later, like later that night, he sent me a text message, and it was very sweet. It was a nice text message. It was very sweet, and that's always him. He's always very sweet. And so I asked him a follow-up question about the text he sent me, and that kind of led us into a conversation about whether or not I'm important to him, because part of the issue was when time is not carved out for me in a way that I believe is owed, that kind of investment from me is not given for whatever reason, then I feel like the investment is imbalanced, and it doesn't feel like an important investment in me by that person. So I know I am an important person, and therefore my relationships should reflect how an important person is treated and behaved towards. And so that was, part of our issue was he didn't have availability to really show me how important I am. So that led to some conversations related to importance. And one of the things he said was, I could tell it was important to you, something that I had done. And I asked, was it important to you? And he said, yes. And I asked, why? And he said, because you're important to me. And it's very sweet of him to say that, but I'm more interested in action. And so I replied to that, and he said, I'm sorry that you don't feel like you're important to me, though I understand why you do and how I've failed to show you. I have not replied back to that text message because receiving it made me feel angry. I felt like, I don't know, sometimes I would almost just rather not have an apology. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you experience that? So I felt angry, and I didn't want to respond back in anger because A, that's not compatible with who I want to be. I have been that person. Oh Lord, I have been that person. I've grown a lot. So I didn't want to respond because I didn't want to respond back in anger. And all of the thoughts that I was having about that text message and how I wanted to respond was bringing up anger. And that is such a great opportunity, because then when you're triggered, like, this is an opportunity for you if you have experiences like this. When you're triggered, when someone says something or does something that makes you feel angry, it's such a great opportunity to just like explore what that means. Like, why does it make you feel angry? Why are you angry? Because if you can kind of get to the bottom of why it's making you angry, like what is it triggering in you that makes you feel angry, then you can decide more appropriately how to respond. In my case, it felt like lip service a little bit. I don't think that's his intent though. Like he's not that kind of person, but it felt like that. It felt like lip service. It also made me feel like, it brought up feelings rather of, how do I put it? Like, well, if you know what to do, well, let's do it then. Like, fix it, treat me the way that I deserve to be treated, and then we can move forward. But again, I'm not going to tell him that either, because I don't need to. Like, I don't need to communicate to him. I don't need to break it down for him how he should be treating me. He knows. We've had discussion. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at. I am not sure how to reply to that text message because I don't want to be ugly. And I also think that it's important to continue to embody the version of myself who I automatically inspire men in my life to do the right things. That is a trait that I want to have. It's like, my boundaries are so good. My self-respect, my self-worth is so high that my future husband would never. I want it to be that obvious. And so a woman who that obviously garners that sort of respect from a man is not going to explain that to him through text. So I'm not sure what to say. I think it's, I appreciate he's always been really good if he's done anything quote unquote wrong. He's always been very good about listening to me, tell him what happened, why I feel like it was wrong, and taking responsibility for his part. He's very secure and confident in that way. And that's great because that shows me that the caliber of man that I'm attracting is increasing because of the way that I am, the way that I behave, and the way that I believe about myself. And these are things that you need to implement for yourself as well. Like, who would you be if you were treated the way that you wanted to be treated? Like, how would you behave on a day-to-day basis? And is that in line with how you're behaving currently? For me, in my case, until I learned about the law of assumption, it was not. I was very insecurely attached to a man for a while, that it was the worst relationship I've ever had, in the sense that it was the most, I hate the word toxic, but it was toxic and it was unhealthy, but it was also the most alive I've ever felt. The most passionate I have ever felt, not just physically passionate, but emotionally and spiritually passionate as well. And it broke my heart in the biggest way I have ever experienced. And I am so thankful for it, because that relationship is the reason I found the law of assumption. And had it not been for the absolute despair I was in because of that relationship, that I would ever have leveled up the way that I have. I would never be talking to you right now. I would never be dating the kinds of men that I'm currently dating. And, you know, you may not ever get rid of your problems, but you can certainly level up your problems. And that's at the point where I'm at now, is like, all right, do I expect a life without problems? I personally think that's unrealistic. Now, that's a limiting belief, right? But a lot of our beliefs are limiting beliefs. You just have to figure out which ones are truly limiting you from doing what you want to do right now. I would rather think that, you know, life's problems may come and go, but my problems will continue to level up as I continue to level up. Like, I would rather have the problem of which island do I go to for my 10-year anniversary with my provider husband than, you know, how am I going to pay my rent this month? So there are definitely levels to problems. I went on definitely a tangent there. But anyway, so that's where we're at with this man. I have not replied back to that last text because I'm not sure what to say yet that is in line with embodying the woman that I know that I am and that I want to live my life as. And until I figure out what to say as her, I'm not going to say anything. And that's perfectly fine. You walk in a confidence that everything that you do is the right thing to do and it's the right thing to say. But there's also a bit of being deliberate with what you do and what you say that matters also. And if you feel like what I am talking about is helpful and you want to learn how to do this for yourself, like a deeper dive into basically how to be your own coach, I have paid for coaching. I did not find it particularly helpful. What I found was helpful for me, I have actually distilled and put into a course that I am launching in January 2025. And I don't offer personal coaching. A lot of people ask if I do coaching, and I don't do one-on-one coaching. I don't think it's terribly efficient for my life and my goals, but I also don't think it's terribly efficient for the customer. You barely get to know somebody unless they have a lot of disposable income, right? Like for the average person, I just don't think that it's particularly advantageous. I think if you can learn how to take in information like a student and apply it objectively to your life as a coach would advise you to on your own, I think that that is the far more efficient way to get where you want to go, and you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on coaching for one issue and then need to go back for more thousands and thousands of dollars of another issue. Once you get, you know, unlimited disposable income, that's fine. And probably once I get to that point in my life, I will utilize coaching to continue to level up. But at the place that I'm at right now, I did not get benefit from one-on-one coaching the way that I wanted to. And so I'm not going to do that for other people and just take other people's money. I would rather create something that teaches you how to approach manifesting in your own life, because you know you best and you know exactly what's going on far better than you could even ever tell me in an hour or 2 hours if we were to do a coaching session. So if you're interested in help like that, then the link to the initial training that is free is down in the description. You can go check it out. And then if you want to go further with that and join the course will be open in January 2025. You can go ahead and do that as well. Or you can just keep watching here if that is the most helpful thing to you. Do what you need in this moment. And my goal is to be as helpful as possible for any point that you're at on your journey. And if you're not at the point yet where you want to invest in content for manifesting to help you get better at it, that's fine. I wasn't at that point for a couple years. So, you know, I'm here. I'm going to keep making helpful content that is free for you to consume. But as with anything free, you're kind of at the mercy of what I want to put out or what other coaches want to say. And it may or may not be ultra helpful with your individual problem. So you have to take that into consideration too. But anyways, I'm glad we had this talk so that you can see what I sent. And be sure, because I know he'll respond to me because he always responds. Like, he's not going to ignore me. We don't have that kind of thing. So tune in next week for the next vlog, because I will show how he responded and what I'm choosing to do with that information. I also might have a date next week and I'm going to vlog about that. I have a medical appointment tomorrow and there's lots of opportunities to talk about medical things and manifesting, so stay tuned, we'll talk about that. But yeah, so I really hope that you found this vlog useful, seeing how I approach the things that come up in my day-to-day life from the standpoint of a really fucking amazing manifestor. which is what I am. I'm hoping that this will show you that you do not have to react super emotionally to the things that don't go your way. Once you start looking at them from a lens where everything benefits you, you start to feel emotionally different about stuff. It just doesn't affect you the same way.